group of athletes going very well over the last couple of years, but still Tom Humphries leading Mike Skinner, and now starting to show his hand Mo Farah. So he was just being racecrafty there, loitering back in the 20s, and he knew exactly what he was doing. He must know, because he's just got so much class about him from training and from his form on other surfaces, what he's capable of at any given moment.
Well, I think what he has to do today is to test himself really at the end of this race, because he'll need to be tested. He's given up the indoor season, of course. He would otherwise be in Doha at the World Indoor Championships. Came out winning that title last year over 3,000 metres. He's opted for the country. He wants to give himself a real go to get his confidence back, because he had some disappointing runs before Christmas, and that iron deficiency problem, we're told, has been resolved. And we just hope that he can now really show us and give us the belief that we know he's got. Yeah. There was a time when people would say he hasn't got self-belief, and there was a naivety in the way in which he ran, and there tends to have been a maturity in the way he's been running recently, and that's good. And look on the left, the white top, green vertical stripe is Andy Vernon. So Humphries is there, Mo Farah is there, Andy Vernon's there, Volder Michael, Mengistab. Everybody's there. Mike Skinner is there as well.
Well, just gone through there was Alistair Hay, the Scottish champion running for Scotland East, actually showing very, very well at the head of the field. There's Conor McNulty and one of the other Eritreans for Scotland West, but they don't have a sixth scorer. There's only 5 going for Scotland West, so they won't feature in the team competition. There's been talk of North East counties being strong, Greater Manchester being at strength, but at the moment wide open. Little bit of Greater Manchester in the orange, a little bit of Hertfordshire going on at the head of the field, some Warwickshire, but now Farah and Moomin Gil, one a former Somalian, the other still between nation states, and Tom Humphries looks as though he's completely bought the farm there. Look, Humphries was leading, and now he's back in about 12th place, and suddenly Mo Farah decides it's time to get down to business.
Yes, I did say that the Eritreans were wildcards. In fact, you're quite right, they are down for Scotland West. They were down on 2 lists, but nevertheless they're there, and they're featuring in the leading 10 or 12 or so. Moomin Gil on the right, Mo Farah on the left, behind him Andy Vernon, and the big names are all up there now, and it's beginning to move on a little. This is where the race is beginning to evolve, isn't it?
Well, and as you look at that group, Mengistiab won't be eligible for Britain for another year or 2. Moomin Gil hasn't had his status validated. So we're again back to that scenario where only the first 3 are certain to be selected. There is a doubt as to whether Andy Vernon would go to the World Championships, whether selected or not, because he has other plans. What will sway him will be the strength of the team. And at the moment, you'd want to see slightly tighter packing and a few more. And Moomin Gil just pretending. A little bit of come dancing there at the head of the field, and Gil stays on his feet, but not happy. Words exchanged.
Yes, 4 kilometres gone, 8 to go. All the principals are there. Vernon on the right, white shirt, green vertical stripe. Moomin Gil with the hat. On the left and leading now is Mike Skinner, and Skinner is in there. A couple of the Eritreans still up in that leading group. Mo Farah's dropped back just a little bit. Nothing to worry about there, though. Sitting in, he's what, in about 4th or 5th place, happy to sit in that leading group.
Yep.
We've got now about, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 away from the rest of the field, but 6 of the principals are in that group of 7.
So 4.854 leading for Warwickshire, and of course Warwickshire have won this title on many occasions through Glyn Tromans. Phil Hinch is the Warwickshire man there, 4.854 alongside Andy Vernon. Mike Skinner just behind him. I think that's Mengistiab just drifting back in formation. Moomin Gil and Mo Farah. So it's and Andy Vernon actually is just drifted to the front, but he's actually just putting the hammer down a little bit. I think Mo Farah's recognised that. You can see his eye line. He's just keeping an eye on Andy Vernon. The 3 guys that have really had outstanding winters have done it in different sections. Skinner was the man pre-Christmas, won the European Championship Trials, won at, or had a great run at Gateshead as well. It's been Andy Vernon since Christmas, and drifting in and out of that has been Mo Farah, and that was a real dent to his confidence to get beaten by Steve Vernon and Ricky, whatever his name is, from the northeast in the 4K race, Ricky Stevenson at Edinburgh, and first race back. And I think if I was Andy Vernon, I'd just be testing the Farah fitness at this point, and that looks to be what he's doing. powerful figure, Andy Vernon. I mean, he's built like a John Walker almost, isn't he, with that upper body musculature. Not your standard sort of spindle shanks runner.
Well, missing from the race, Steve Vernon, who's opted to run in Belgium, and that could well be against him with the trial as it evolves here. He's asked to be considered, but really this is the trial. Scott Overall, of course, who finished 8th in the European cross-country trials in Liverpool, he's in Doha over 3,000 metres. He'll be considered as well. He's in very, very good form as well. As far as Skinner's concerned, in the blue vest, now in 4th place as you look, he in fact heads the McCain league at the moment. He's got the most points at the top, and along with Andy Vernon, yes, both of them have got the same. So Mike Skinner and Andy Vernon have got the same points at the top of the McCain Challenge list, with 7 kilometres to go, 7,000 metres to go. So look at this: Mo Farah, Moomin Geel, Andy Vernon, these three pushing it along now. This is a serious attempt to push this race along.
Well, they've run it in a variable pace basis, but this is another serious surge. Nielsen Hall at the back there is finding this a little bit tough going in the Hertfordshire colours, a Bedford and County runner. Feeling was that if they'd been at full strength, they could have taken the national senior team title, but it's about getting 6 home in this event.
Yeah, that was Nielsen Hall, I think, just to interrupt you there, the Hertfordshire athlete in that leading group. So he's doing quite nicely. He was 4th in the English.
Oh, the hats off. Hats off, both hats off. Look, did you ever doubt there were team orders going on here? Hats in the right hands, fellas, and kick it.
Well, the thing about this race is Andy Vernon has got a terrific sprint finish. So has Mo Farah. Mo Farah's got a range from 15 to 5,000 metres, and unless Andy Vernon is careful and stays in contention here, he could get left behind. But it's still early days, I have to say that, but this is a big effort, and this is what I like to see in a race, particularly by the British athletes, to get out there and run at the sort of pace they're going to have to run in a World Championship, even to make a sort of impact, any impact at all against the Africans.
Yes, that is definitely the adjustment, that Mo Farah can win at this level, so can Andy Vernon. They can actually do quite well at European level, top 3. But then what a difference it is if you're going along at a World Championship and having to hold your concentration for 25th or 26th or 30th place for a good run.
You remember when we were watching the Edinburgh race earlier on this year, when he was, 3rd or 4th in that race, when he had the iron deficiency problem. He went out very, very quickly. The race was over 4,000 metres. It was his territory, and he should have prevailed. There's Andy Vernon. Is he? That's Moomin Geel alongside him, and I tell you what, the pace that's being set has created a gap which one would call significant. That is significant. And Andy has got to really work hard now to pull himself back. Now, he's not going to do it too quickly.
No.
Now, the point I was beginning to make there was today, Mo Farah took it nice and steadily at the start, has built his race, and that's an entirely different way of running it.
Yeah, the swagger and the bounce is back, isn't it, for Farah?
Yeah.
He's gone away, licked his wounds, got his iron levels back up, obviously trained hard. This is going to be tough to try and play catch-up on this sort of exercise for Andy Vernon, and you can see he's rolling a little bit of a frown on, because Farah won't come back to him. He's got to actually up his game now from this point in. We're into the second half of the race.
Mo Farah. Well, says he's recovered, says that he's in good shape, and he's proving it at the moment with 6 kilometres, 6,000 metres to go.
When he's in full flight, he's tremendous, isn't he? I mean, he's got that floating cadence, he's got that unconcerned look and the loose arms and shoulders, but you need to have Farah at his best when he goes out to represent Britain at international level.
Let's see what the gap is here as they go around that corner. Let's just hang on just for a minute to see what this gap is. It's a there it is. There's Andy Vernon in second, so it's got to be 60 metres or so, hasn't it? So up the hill, not much happening. Looks comfortable up that hill. Got good stride length. Vernon knows now that he's got to make this deficit back, but he mustn't do it too quickly. He's got 6,000 metres. He's got less than 6,000 metres to go to try and make it up. And he must be hoping that Mo will be going through some sort of bad patch eventually, because there is a gap of significance. There's Mike Skinner.